Hi, Gary Klaban here, and this is the first blog to help business owners grow and simplify their business. Now, we're going to help with tips and ideas, different ways of looking at business to really help you move forward quicker. So this first one is on Keystone Habits. Now, Claude Hopkins had a problem. He was an admin back in the early 1900s. A good buddy of his came to him, was really trying to push him hard to sell toothpaste. Now, toothpaste, only 8% of the people were using it at that time. Rotten teeth were the norm, but he eventually gave in and decided to give it a go. He did some research with some dental books and found this thing called MUCIN PLAQUE. That's the film you feel on your teeth. And he kind of figured that if he could convince people to get rid of that film and have a beautiful smile, that they might buy toothpaste. 5 years later, Pepsodent Smile was huge. They sold a ton of toothpaste. So what happened here? Well, Charles Duhigg in his book, The Power of Habit, says that this was a craving that took place, that good habits are formed by somebody craving this. And it's a three-step routine. First step is the cue. I feel the film on my teeth. The second step is the routine, brushing my teeth. The third step is the result, beautiful smile. Clark Gable and Shirley Temple were bragging about their beautiful Pepsodent smiles. Take this forward now to 1987. A fellow named Paul O'Neill took over the reins as the CEO of Alcoa. The very first thing he did was establish a Keystone Habit. This is a habit that Mr. Duhigg talks about in his book. That's the central core habit that brings great benefits to an organization, something you should consider in your own firm. Worker safety, key habit, was how he wanted to form all of Alcoa. And the first thing he did is he required his unit presidents to have to report to him within 24 hours all safety violations. Now, they had to update all their communication systems, and in the process of doing that, made it much more efficient, better communication between the floor and supervisors and so forth. The second thing, they wanted to increase the productivity with the unions. So the unions, first thing they did was looked at a problem they're having with molten metal splashing on the employees, and so they came up with a new pouring system that reduced this dramatically, reduced the safety violations as well, and increased productivity. Just was a wonderful thing. Bottom line was, 10 years later, Alcoa's price doubled, darling of Wall Street, because of this. Paul O'Neill understood that a keystone habit is like routines in business, which are like good habits with people, and he was really smart about this. He learned it from international paper and the government and so forth. Let's look at somebody else, Steve Jobs. Now, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in their garage in the mid-70s built the first Apple computer. Very complex, and it was just for freaks and geeks. But what Steve's keystone habit was during his entire career was trying to help us to make the complex simple. I believe that's what his keystone habit was. What did he do? He came up with the Mac computer to make it easy for all of us to have a desktop computer. He got fired from Apple, came back in 1997, and the first thing he tackled at that point was the music industry. The iTunes account, the iPod. We want to listen to the music we want to listen to when we want to listen to it. He made that very complex system very simple. Then he tackled the phone. He hated the way the phone was working prior to it, cell phone, prior to the iPhone coming into existence, and then the iPad. And at his death, he was trying to deal with the complexity of TV and to make that a very simple process as well. So when you look at your business, what's your core keystone habit? I mean, do you have something like worker safety or making the complex simple? Whatever it is that you're trying to do out there, try to make that a very important routine within your business, something you can do on a constant basis, and it really will improve everything. It'll really grow and simplify your business. And I'll leave you with one last thought. Mark Twain said, "Nothing needs more reforming than other people's habits." So until next time, enjoy.